Once upon a time there was a kingdom ruled by a wise and kind king and queen who had one daughter, the Princess Genevieve. Princess Genevieve was known throughout the land for her intelligence, courage, and most of all, her kindness. One day, Princess Genevieve was exploring the royal gardens when she came across a tiny green lizard. "What a curious little fellow," said the princess as she bent down to get a closer look. The lizard looked up at her with big black eyes and scurried onto her outstretched hand. Princess Genevieve giggled in delight. "You must be the friendliest lizard in the kingdom." She decided to take the lizard back to the castle and keep him as a pet. The king and queen were hesitant at first, but they could not say no to their daughter's bright smile. Princess Genevieve made a little bed for the lizard in an ornate birdcage and would take him out each day to play. She named him Jade, for his shiny green scales. Jade the lizard loved his new home with Princess Genevieve. Each morning, she would take him out to the gardens where he would scamper around chasing butterflies while the princess picked colorful flowers. In the afternoons, Jade would curl up on Genevieve's lap while she read books in the library. At night, he slept soundly in his miniature bed as the princess tucked him in and whispered, "Good night, my dear Jade." The days turned into weeks, and Princess Genevieve and Jade became inseparable companions. But the king and queen were suspicious of the unusual lizard. "There is something strange about that creature," muttered the king. "It's not natural for a lizard to behave so familiarly." One night, the king and queen peeked into Princess Genevieve's room to check on Jade. To their shock, the lizard was nowhere to be seen. In his place was a young man with green hair and eyes, magic swirling around him. Jade was really a forest wizard who had been cursed by an evil sorceress to live as a lizard. When Princess Genevieve showed him kindness, part of the spell was broken. "Thank you for freeing me," said Jade the wizard gratefully. "Your friendship and love have broken the evil enchantment." The king and queen were amazed. Princess Genevieve was thrilled to learn her beloved pet was actually a wizard. Jade promised to use his magic to help the kingdom. From then on, whenever Genevieve needed him, she just had to call Jade the wizard and he would appear in a puff of green smoke, ready to aid his friend. But the evil sorceress who had cursed Jade was furious to learn that he had been freed. She devised a plan to lure the princess into a trap. One sunny day, while Genevieve was out riding her horse, an old woman appeared on the side of the road, calling, "Help me, dear princess." Ever kind, Princess Genevieve stopped to assist her. But the old woman whipped off her cloak, revealing the evil sorceress. Before Genevieve could react, the sorceress cast a sleeping spell. Princess Genevieve fell into a deep slumber. The wicked sorceress then grabbed the sleeping princess and disappeared in a puff of purple smoke. When Jade the wizard heard what had happened, he was tremendously worried for the princess. He knew the evil sorceress had taken Genevieve to her lair, a dark castle surrounded by thorny vines. Without hesitation, he transported himself there in a swirl of green magic. Inside the gloomy castle, Princess Genevieve was trapped in a tall stone tower, still fast asleep under the spell. The evil sorceress cackled with glee, knowing the kingdom was helpless without their beloved princess. Jade began searching the castle, using his magic to avoid detection. At last, at the top of the stone tower, he found Genevieve. "Wake up, princess!" Jade shouted. At the sound of his voice, Princess Genevieve's eyes fluttered open and the spell was broken. "Jade, you saved me!" she cried joyfully. Suddenly, the evil sorceress burst into the tower. "You meddling fool," she yelled at Jade. "I curse you to be trapped forever as a powerless lizard." Before Jade could defend himself, the sorceress zapped him with purple lightning from her hands. Jade shrank back down into a small green lizard once more. "No, creid Princess Genevieve." She picked up Jade and dodged another magic bolt from the sorceress. Genevieve ran down the winding stairs of the tower with the villain close behind. But with her cunning and bravery, the princess managed to escape the dark castle with Jade. As the sorceress howled in rage, Princess Genevieve rode swiftly back to her own kingdom with the lizard safely tucked in her pocket. When they arrived at the castle, Princess Genevieve begged her parents for help. The evil sorceress has cursed Jade again. We must find a way to break her spell. The king and queen brought together the wisest wizards and magicians in the land for an emergency meeting. After much debate, the royals announced a solution: true love's kiss. If Princess Genevieve kisses the lizard, her love for him should be powerful enough to break his curse for good, declared the wisest magician. Princess Genevieve scooped up Jade in her hands and gave him a tender kiss on top of his little green head. Poof! In an explosion of light, Jade transformed back into a wizard, the evil spell finally broken. Princess Genevieve and Jade the wizard were married, uniting his magical abilities and her kindness to rule the kingdom together in peace and prosperity. As for the evil sorceress, she was never able to harm the princess or Jade ever again. And they all lived happily ever after. The end.